Hello there, hope we are well. Welcome to my Premier League predictions video for the 23-24 season. I'm very excited for this Premier League season, even though I said the other day that I'm more excited for the Championship, and part of me does believe that now that the Premier League has come round, I'm very excited for it. We've got our first game this evening, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each game of Game Week 1 and then sort of touch on my season predictions for these teams. Rather than do that in two separate videos, and at the end I've got something that I'm going to dub the five-fold frenzy or something like that. I don't know, I'll find a better name, but basically I'm going to do a five-fold accumulator recommendation thing every week. You can do it if you want, you're probably going to lose money. No official financial advice here, people. So the first game we've got is Man United versus Fulham. That is Friday evening, this evening at 8 o'clock, live on Sky Sports. I predict a draw. I think Man United are going to be slightly disappointing this season, as they have been for the last couple of seasons. I'm seeing a lot of people predict top 4. I'm seeing some people predict top 3. I really cannot see it. I don't see that the moves they've made justify that. I think the FA Cup, much like the League Cup the season before, papers over cracks. I don't think Ten Hag is a consistent manager, and I think the squad is weak enough to make multiple errors across a season that will stop them reaching the heights. And Fulham, I think, are a decent side, and they've done well to keep hold of a lot of their good players. I don't predict Fulham will go down. I think Fulham will be mid-table mediocrity, as they usually are. But yes, I predict a draw in that game. I'm going to go for 2-2. I'm not going to go for 2-2. Well, I don't see where Fulham get 2 goals from. I'm going to go for 1-1. So now we have got Saturday, the 17th of August, 2024. The first game of the season, not quite the first game of the season. First game of Liverpool's season is against Ipswich Town. Now, as you can see, I am a Liverpool fan, and we always seem to play newly promoted sides in the first week. Now, because I'm a Liverpool fan, I've been watching a lot of the pre-season games. I say a lot too. And we've been looking really good. I'm a big fan of what Arne Slot is doing. We haven't made any signings, but I think our squad is strong. And I predict a couple of signings once we can see what we're looking like in competitive football, if we need them. Everyone's talking about number 6. I don't think that's the style of football Arne Slot plays. This one's live on TNT Sports at 12:30, my people. And for this, I am obviously predicting a Liverpool win. I'm predicting a 4-0 Liverpool win. I think we're going to make a statement. And I thought Ipswich were really good in the Championship. I really did think Ipswich were good in the Championship, but I don't think they're going to have the gumption to stay up, unfortunately. I think they will. I think they'll be the team that is fighting to stay up but doesn't quite do it. We've got the 3 o'clocks on Saturday. Now let's go through these. The first on my list is Arsenal versus Wolves. Now, Arsenal, I've not seen them make many signings, and I don't think they're going to have the firepower up front to maintain what they did last season. And after a lot of work and a lot of hard graft, with very little success to show for it, I think they're going to fall away slightly. I still predict an Arsenal winning this game against Wolves, because I think Wolves may be in trouble this year. For that one, I'm going to go for 2-0 Arsenal. But that being said, I don't think Arsenal are going to be what they were. Next game, we've got Everton and Brighton. Now, Everton did well last season. The points total is a bit of a lie, because obviously they got their points deduction. But they did really well under Sean Dyche in terms of total wins and total points accrued. And I think there's going to be growth from that this season. And I think they could actually finish above Brighton. We'll see on that one. I've put down a Brighton win, but I'm not quite sure on it. I think that's just because of what I knew Brighton to be. But I'm not sure they're that anymore, if that makes sense. We'll go 1-0 Brighton. Newcastle versus Southampton. Newcastle have got the best kits this season. That's just a fact. Them 3 kits are all absolutely beautiful. I think Isak is going to be a star this season, and I think in January, if they don't lose him this summer, in January they will be battling to keep hold of him. And I'm really excited to see Lallana at Southampton, but I'm not sure they're going to stay up either. I would like them to, because I think they're one of those clubs that have got a fly. They've got a legendary academy, and I think they're just a nice club. I can't imagine they're very nice for an away day, long for northern teams, long old trip for Newcastle. But yeah, I think Newcastle are going to do it. Forest versus Bournemouth, most boring game of the weekend. Screams of a draw. I think Forest will go down this season. I think they rode their luck the last couple of seasons. I don't foresee them having the quality. I think teams like Leicester and even possibly Southampton have more quality than Forest, but definitely Leicester do. I said it screams of a draw, but Bournemouth were good last season, but I'm not sure they can maintain that. I think it just screams of a draw because of the boringness, but I could be wrong. The 5:30 game on Saturday, Sky Sports, a very interesting game, West Ham versus Villa. West Ham have made a lot of signings and a lot of astute ones at that. I think they're going to do well this season. It all depends on whether these signings can gel and whether this new manager can get the team playing and get the fans behind him, because I've heard that a lot of their pre-season games, they're still looking rather pragmatic, which is one of the problems they obviously had with David Moyes. Their treatment of him was abhorrent, by the way. I don't agree with that. Aston Villa looked brilliant last season. They did well, and the fans expect to grow on that and to become an established European team. Now, I'm not sure that is a realistic expectation, and I personally expect them to fall away ever so slightly. But I do expect them to finish inside those European places, but not quite as high as they did last season. I think it's going to be a tight Villa win, but I expect a fall from grace and a little bit of a reality check for those Villa fans. On to the Sunday games. We've got 2 o'clock, Sky Sports, Brentford versus Palace, and I think it's going to be a Palace win. I think they're going to build on last season with their new manager, and only losing Elise and Eze, I think, is very, very important. I think the new manager is more of a system manager, so I think they can afford to lose a star player like that. They've done well to keep up. They've done well to keep hold of Gay so far. Whether that changes, we will see. I would love Liverpool to sign him. But yeah, I think they're more of a system side, so I think they can keep growing from where they were. And if Dougie Freedman can get 1 or 2 astute signings through the door, then they'll be firing again. Brentford, again, I foresee some trouble for Brentford, especially if Tony keeps not firing like he was at the end of last season. And obviously, there's still a possibility that he could leave. And I'm not sure the rest of the squad is strong enough. However, I do really rate Thomas Frank as a manager. He said in an interview the other day with TalkSport that he's now the 4th or 3rd longest manager serving in the Premier League, and he said that highlights how long he's been at Brentford. I foresee him leaving for a bigger club in the very near future, because I think he's a very talented manager. The 4:30, we've got Chelsea and Manchester City. Chelsea have signed everyone in the known universe. I signed my contract half an hour ago. I'm going to be playing at left back just behind Cucurella. That's why I was in hospital. I was just getting myself built up and trained up. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing for Chelsea this year. It's going to be good. But I'm slightly worried that we're not going to gel. The other 15 million signings that we've made, it's just difficult. What have they been doing? They've signed so many people, and I'm not sure that it's a functional, tangible, workable solution to whatever problems they had last year, which I think were severe. And I'm not sure Maresca is the man to pull it together. It's going to be a City win, and it may well be a City title win. The only thing that makes me doubt that is the fact that they won the Community Shield. And now, when they won the Community Shield last time, we won the league. And then they haven't won the Community Shield for about 4 years. So I reckon there might be some destiny vibes going on. Monday, we've got Leicester versus Spurs. Now, I think Solanke is a fantastic signing. and I think they could be what Spurs need to just push them over the edge and into those top 4 positions. I think Andrew's more settled now. I think he's learned some harsh lessons about the Premier League and about how to function sustainably within the league, and not in a way that is detrimental to himself and his side, be that in press conferences and on the pitch as well. So I predict a better Spurs season now things are settled, and I predict Leicester to stay up. I'm not sure the position, but I really, really do predict them to stay up. In terms of general predictions, my top 4, I'm going to go City, Liverpool, Arsenal and Spurs. However, I do genuinely think, after watching us under Slot against Sevilla and against, I can't remember, some teams in America, that we could be within a chance if City fall away and if Pep loses his motivation and passion towards the end of the season, because I think it could well be his last season, and we might see a bit of burnout similar to what we saw from Jurgen Klopp at the end of last season as well. I think fighting for the rest of those places are going to be Chelsea, United, Villa and Newcastle, and I think it might well go in that order. However, I can see both Chelsea and United having bad seasons again, because I'm not sure as teams they are as together as Villa and Newcastle. I think those teams are more gelled, more together, more bonded than the Chelsea and United sides. But then Chelsea and United are Chelsea and United, so I think that's going to be difficult to work out. I've gone with the bottom 4 because I predict Wolves are going to be in serious trouble. I don't see where many goals come from. I don't see where many points come from. But I think they might be lucky that Ipswich, Southampton and Forest just managed to accrue less points, and Wolves' experience in picking up random draws and just getting over the line could do it for them and could get them enough to just stay up. But I predict trouble for Wolves. Similar story with Brentford. I'd put them amongst that group. So now we have got my, what do I call it, the fearsome fivefold, the fivefold frenzy, something like that. So game 1, we've gone for Everton Brighton draw at 5-2. Villa versus West Ham, we've gone Villa 13-8. Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth, another draw, 5-2. We've gone to the Championship for Plymouth versus Hull for a couple of away games. We've gone Hull 13-10. And Middlesbrough, because I think Middlesbrough are going to do well in the Championship this year, 21-20. And the odds for that would be 150-1. Do what you want with that. You can lose a tenner if you want. You can lose a quid if you want, because there's a small chance you might win 150. You probably won't. I don't win many bets apart from when I guess on horses and I put each way bets on. What I do is I just go on Sky Bet, find the ones that are like, we pay out 5 instead of 3 each way, and just go for like the 3rd or 4th favourite. They generally come in the top 4 or 5. Yeah, there's a little life hack for you. Again, no financial advice. But yes, there is the fearsome frenzy fivefold fuckery. And that is my Premier League predictions for game week 1 and the 23-24 season. Join me on Saturday for when I do a bit of a review of Saturday's games. Join me later in the season when I start doing live streams. And thank you for joining me at home as we start this journey into the football realm. I might do a little UFC 305 predictions video tomorrow as well, because we're going to get some fight content out there. But yeah, the time for content creation is now. Thank you, people. Peace out, mother lovers.